How's it going, my friends? My name is Fringy, and welcome to Should I Play Infamous Second Son, a first impression series where I give you my honest opinions of any given title. Note that this is not a full review and should not be taken as such. A full review may be coming down the line. So, Infamous is one of my favorite PlayStation 3 franchises. I think it's one of the most underrated franchises of the previous generation, and I always found them to be excellent. And I do mean excellent open world games. They were a blast to play, they had fantastic stories, good characters, all around just really great games. Stellar games even. So, no doubt, you would think that when Infamous Second Son was announced, I was stoked, and I sure was. And now that I've gotten to play the game, I'd like to give you my thoughts on it, because this game is far from flawless, okay? There are a lot of problems, but it is still a great game thus far, and I'm just going to explain to you why. Now, of course, it's a PS4 game, so we need to talk about the visuals, because they're just drop-dead stunning. It's a beautiful game. Seriously, your jaw will drop when you see this. Everything is presented in such detail and such fidelity that it's just mind-blowing. However, because they did this, the frame rate drops a lot. I've heard reviewers say that the frame rate's been smooth. Mine hasn't. This shit's been dropping a lot, especially in combat. Like, yeah, okay, if you're running around, then yeah, the frame rate doesn't drop. When you're in combat, that shit drops, and especially when you use a karmic attack, that shit drops the frame rate hard. I really wish they'd just gone for 60, but hey, whatever. I mean, if they could have at least gotten it to a solid 30, I would have been happy. So what about the gameplay? The core of the gameplay experience is a lot of fun. You know, it's very conservative though. That's the main thing I'll say. It's the same as the other two Infamous games. Pretty much. Though they have introduced some new good additions and some bad additions. So, the free aiming, I was kind of skeptical about. In the other Infamous games, you had to aim then fire. In this game, it just has a free aim system, and I was worried, but it does work reasonably well. I mean, I do miss a lot because of it, but it's reasonably good. You know, you'll get the attacks. Speaking of which, there are a lot of attacks, and a lot of them are great. They have a lot of impact, they feel powerful as you tear through enemies. It's great. And when that ties in with the destructible environments, it's just awesome to see it all in action. You feel like a force to be reckoned with. However, some of the additions have kind of fucked with, you know, just how the game plays compared to the other ones. Because you've got alternating powers, I've unlocked Smoke and Neon thus far, and apparently there's 2 more. Alternating between them doesn't work, in that there is no way to alternate between them at all, unless you go up to a neon sign or a chimney and absorb whatever power you want. Why can't you just swap them out in the fly? I mean, that's fucking retarded. It really is. I can't believe that they would have done something so stupid with that. I don't know why they did that. And speaking of which, I've seen a lot of people criticizing this game saying it's too hard. I have no idea what they're talking about. I've died twice in this game. This game is nothing in terms of difficulty compared to the previous games. And that's due to the fact that it's so easy to get away. If you're about to die, you just hit circle and you sprint away or you smoke dash away. And when you're doing that, you can't get hit because you're just particles. So it's so easy to get away. You can just press the button, fly into a chimney thing or a vent, and shoot up into the sky. Regain your health or absorb some energy, and you're good. It's not hard at all. But aside from those issues, the gameplay is a lot of fun. It's very conservative, and if you're bored with the Infamous formula, then you're not going to get anything new here. It's the same. But I still like it, so I really enjoyed it. Now, one of the core strengths that I thought the Infamous series had was in its story. And I think a lot of people will agree with me. The story and characters were pretty good. I liked Cole, even when he had his, you know, gravelly voice and the voice actor switched. I thought Cole was a great protagonist. I thought the story developed pretty well, and when you're dealing with time travel, the way that they did it at the end of Infamous 1 was actually kind of good. And just the pressure that you felt in Infamous 2 as the Beast was coming to New Marais was just excellent. They both had really good stories, and a great ending for Infamous 2. This game is kind of, like, the ending isn't bad. Not the ending, sorry, just the story. The story isn't bad. It's just not special either. I like Delsin. He's not as good as Cole, but he's not the problem. People have been saying he's the problem. No, he's not. The story is just really fucking dull. essentially it just breaks down to, I gotta help my tribes people, sort of, because he lives in a village of Native Americans. That's pretty much the story. It doesn't feel like it's got any direction. Like, yeah, there's a core goal, but it's just lacking. It doesn't feel good at all. Speaking of which, I like Seattle from a visual standpoint, but I kind of miss the sort of stylized feel that the first two games had. I mean, in particular, Infamous 1 had this really good stylized feel to it that kind of made it feel distinct, whereas this city just kind of feels lifeless. Like, don't get me wrong, there's shit going on, and there's activities to engage in, such as stopping drug busts, or if you're a bad guy killing protesters. But that was in Infamous 2 as well. When it comes to side missions, it's kind of hard to find them, and the impact that a side mission has on the map, in the previous games, it would get rid of enemies in that area. And this game doesn't really do that. You gotta do a lot more shit to clear them out. But when this game is so easy, I found myself not needing to do the side missions, because it's like, oh, what the fuck are you gonna do? I'll just kill you. In the other games, they were a tangible threat. You know what I mean? But now I'm gonna talk about the main problem I have with this game, in terms of its, you know, story, is the lack of fan service. This is something we've seen with a lot of PS4 games. They sort of neglect that the other games happen and start from scratch. In this game in particular, I mean, I've heard nobody talk about Cole. I think they mentioned the events of Infamous 2, like, once. Once throughout the fucking game. It's as if it never happened. It's as if they've just swept it away, just for people to forget. It's like, oh, we can come in brand new. And that's what they've done. I mean, it's pretty clear that Sony just came down on Sucker Punch and were like, oh, you know, we got a lot of people who've bought the PS4 who've never played any of the PS3 exclusive titles, with the exception of maybe Uncharted. So we're gonna start from scratch, okay? Just pretend like the other games didn't happen and make it accessible, but fuck the fans of the series. And that's what it feels like to me. I feel like there's no mention of it. And I mean, I paid, like, a lot more money to get the fucking deluxe edition of this game, the special edition, to get some Cole's Legacy bullshit, which is bullshit already. I mean, that shit should be in the game. But anyway, I got it. I still haven't seen anything about Cole. I still haven't seen that mission. And it just pisses me off. This happened with Killzone as well, where they pretty much ignored that the other games even happened, even though those games had shit stories anyway. And it just baffles me. You know, why neglect the people who actually, you know, were fans of your franchise, and if they didn't buy it, it wouldn't exist. You know, at least give them a tangible enough amount of information on the previous games to sort of be like, oh, you know, that's good. But it's not here. So this may have sounded overly negative, just like my Titanfall stuff, but keep in mind that I am still having a blast with this game. It's a visual showcase, that's for sure. But what's more important than that is that I'm just having a lot of fun playing through it. I mean, the story is kind of weak thus far, and the world is kind of lifeless, but it's a lot of fun. There are a couple of gameplay problems, but it is pretty much improved on the whole. A lot more attacks, a better tree system of skill tree. It's way better than the previous games, that's for sure. The skill tree is. And I just want to play more. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. And I mean, this is the best PS4 game out right now. That is undeniable. It's better than every game that came out last year. With the exception of Rayman Legends, because that game is pretty damn awesome. This is the best game you can get on PS4. It's by far the best exclusive. If you have a PS4, and mine is collecting dust, you better pick up this game, because, I mean, it's pretty much the only game that's coming out for a couple of months from now, with the exception of the Elder Scrolls Online, and it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. If you're a newcomer, you'll find it easy. If you're a fan like me, you might feel a little bit disappointed with the story and the world, but on the whole, Infamous Second Son, I'm having a blast with it. So if I was to say, should you play Infamous Second Son, I'd have to say, yeah, this is a great game thus far. I'm really enjoying it. Thanks for watching Should I Play Infamous Second Son. My name is Fringy, and as always, have a good one.